Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
as it says on the thing. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope everybody had a very good Merry Christmas as it's wrapping up. For people on the East Coast, it's already Tuesday. For people like me in the Central Time Zone, last hour of Christmas. Like I said, we said it again. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a good time with your family, had a good time with your friends. Remember, God is the reason for the season, not presents, not
Yeah.
all that stuff. So put that in memory. With that being said, welcome to the Parts Unknown, known as the Clem and Claus Show, second and fourth Mondays. Um, as usual, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 Pacific Time. We are giving you somewhat of a special edition. We're looking sort of looking back. I ain't gonna say we're looking all the way back, but
Yeah.
we're basically covering what's happening in 2023 because the next time you see us will be 2024.
Right. Yeah. So I am happy again. I'm happy I got to my destination safely because I know rain was coming.
Good,
So I said I got to get
good.
out. So drove, made it all the way from Charlotte back in. So as of right now, I'm in the Commonwealth, back in the Commonwealth for now. And
Mhm.
so, and then I'll be New Year's. I'll be in New Year's Eve. I'll be in New York City, and then after that, I will be going up north to Boston. I'll be in Boston for a couple of days after that.
So basically, your 2024 starts in the East Coast, pretty much.
Yep, yep.
You're pretty
So,
much going to New York, and then you're going
and
right to Boston.
then after that, depending on how the NFL season ends, where playoff wise I end up. So,
As of right now, look at the NFL playoffs. Week 16 is pretty much over with now. So look at NFL Week 16. All the teams that you mentioned, Cleveland is still 5. Miami, I think, is
right.
second right now for the moment. Miami is
Baltimore.
second.
What was the final score of the Baltimore game? My cable went out at the hotel.
I
Man, that
want. I
cable
saw
went
that
out.
game. Baltimore. I can't believe I'm saying it. Baltimore dominated San Francisco 33-19. I saw all of it.
Okay, because I know it was 33-12 was the last score update I got. So 33-19.
33-19.
So
They
basically,
scored a late
Baltimore
touchdown.
in the second half was like, we're just going to burn the cop.
Dude, their defense was impressive. Their defense, San Francisco had 5 interceptions in the game. Not one, not two, not three, not four, five.
Did Purdy throw all five or?
Four. He got hurt. He got knocked out the game. He's gonna be okay though. He's gonna be all right. They said he had a thing on his shoulder, so they brought the backup in and he threw an interception. Yeah, the
The
Baltimore defense was
Cowboys can't
awesome.
beat San Francisco. San Francisco. Okay.
San Francisco's a good team, but they finally met their match, and they finally met their match in Baltimore.
And this game
Baltimore was
was
better
in
than them
San
tonight.
Francisco. That's what makes it
Yeah.
so embarrassing. Even more. Did you hear about the guy who had the $1,000 bet? So there was a
No, this
guy.
is the first time hearing this.
Okay, so there was a guy. I heard this on. I'll quote the Dan Patrick show on this. There was a guy who made $1,000 bet before the season
Uh-huh.
started that Brock
Uh-huh.
Purdy will win MVP. And Brock Purdy was like 2,001 odds or whatever. Right.
I understand.
So Brock Purdy won MVP. He will win like 2002 $202,000. $202,000. I'm sorry,
I
two
got
hundred
you.
and
I know
two
what you meant.
thousand dollars. Now
Yep.
there's a website where if you made a bet like this and you have the ticket, you can not cash it in, but you can sell it if somebody wants
Hmm.
to buy it off of you. So a guy last week bought the ticket off of him for $125,000, which meant if Brock Purdy was to win MVP, he would get $75,000 out of it, because Brock Purdy was looking to be a sure thing. Well,
Not
after
tonight. He wasn't.
today, yeah, so you
Not
see what I'm
tonight. He
saying?
wasn't.
Right. See, that's the thing. Because if you're going in somewhere where it's 50-50, and you have some people that will argue that McCaffrey, the running back, is a more
Yeah.
valuable player. Some people will argue that, but anyway, it's just that now the guy that made made $125,000, he's out. So he's just sitting there, hey, So the
Here's the
other
thing. Here's
guys
what
are
happened. I
holding him
know
back.
me and you saw the same thing. Pretty much, Baltimore's ready to go in this game. Both it's, people don't. San Francisco did not play terrible. Baltimore was just better than them this night.
Yeah.
Period. They were able to get to the quarterback. They were able to run the ball, which, as we all know, no one runs the ball against San Francisco. They were able to do it. Lamar Jackson was Lamar Jackson, being him. getting out the pocket, getting in the pocket. Their defense won the game though. Their defense was fabulous. All the
Roquan
interceptions,
Smith is that dude. Patrick Queen, LSU guy. They're that dudes. They them dudes. Marlon
yep.
Humphrey laying
He
hits
and
on.
yeah,
They that
yep,
dudes. I've seen
yep,
them in play. I've seen them knock out Joe Burrow. Not that far. That Baltimore is coming to play. All Baltimore got to do offensively is stay healthy. They
yep,
could. They good to go. They good to go. They
yeah.
got some weapons.
They don't get me wrong. I've been watching Baltimore too a little bit more. You large them a lot because they're like in your area, so I've seen them enough times.
Right.
But man, I was very impressed because San Francisco is not a very physical team, and the Ravens are a physical team. This was a, I know everybody's like, oh, we were looking at the score. Oh, Baltimore blew out San Francisco. It wasn't like that, people. It did not. It was not like that. What's the name? Have four like out of the four interceptions that Purdy threw, three of them were like tip passes. When someone is tipping your passes, the interceptions are not like thing. They'll be fine. I'm not worried about San Francisco. They'll be fine. They'll probably win the NFC because did you see what happened in Philadelphia? Philadelphia was garbage. They won, but they struggled with the Giants. The Giants at home. So they got problems. So with that being said, anything else happened to you? Because I got some of my people that came in, so we're
Mm.
good, man.
Nope. I'm good.
Pretty good weekend. All right, man. You ready? You ready? To give me the topics. Let's go.
All right.
We ain't too
So
much. Oh yeah. Before I get to the topics, if you've been paying attention to X or Twitter, there's been some kind of announcements, a few announcements. So if you haven't paying attention, Miss Fiona Ryder, for people who don't know, she used to be a past cat fighter. It looked like she's trying to make a comeback. Her
okay.
and the other lady we talked about, named Shortstop, aka Catfight Phantom, they're talking right now. There might be a meeting of the minds,
Hmm.
right? They've been talking to each other. Let's put it that way. So there might be a catfight in the near future. Is not now. It's probably looking. You're probably looking down the line. We'll see what happens. I can't say too much. All I want to say is not next year. It's not going to be in January. That's all I want to say. I'll leave it there.
Okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to do this year for the end of the year wrap up is I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So um,
Yep.
have some kind of superlatives or we'll have like three things that we liked a lot for this season. So I decided to have three categories. The first one would be category is cat fighter of the year. Who do you think is your cat fighter of the year?
This is a tough one, man, because let's put some context into it, people. There was not very many catfights this year. This year was like a drought compared to last year or 2 years ago. So it's
Right.
kind of hard to say who was catfighter of the year. I'm probably basing it on who fought the most, which is kind of hard for me because all the popular ones, the Sarah Brooks of the world, the Laura Crosses of the world, uh, the Kiras, all the ones you would think like the Alexa Brooke and all these people, they're not very much to be seen. Those were not seen at
Right.
all this year. So based off of what I know, I'm not going to America. I'm going to be. You would think I'll be an American. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go outside.
Okay.
I am going to Mexico. I'm going to the south of the border. I know I'm going to go south of the border. I am going to pick either Valentina or Santana. That's who I'm down to when it comes to those two.
And who out of those two, I know they met each other. Who won that fight? Or did that happen this year or that happened another year?
I think it happened 2 years ago, but I'm basing off of what I've seen so
Okay.
far because, like I said, when it comes to the American fights, I'm not trying to disrespect us, but they were not great, right? Let's be serious.
Right.
Oh, never mind. I take it back. Never mind. I will pick one. I'm going to go ahead and pick one. I'm going to go ahead and take Queen Gia Love. I will name her the cat fighter of the year. Why? Because she had the best cat fight of the year when she fought against Valor. We'll get into that very soon. So I'm going
So
ahead and give Queen Gia Love cat fighter of the year. She at least did two fights, at least. I forgot her other one, but she at least, gave us
what
something.
was the other one? What was the
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Who did she fight? I know she fought someone. I thought she had more than one, but I might.
I just remember the one against Valor. That's the only one I
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna give her that one based off of the quality of the fight, right?
okay.
You know what I mean? Because all the other ones we had, the other people that were in contention, like a Bella Lux, she was in contention. Uh, who else can I think is in contention? There's not many people that are in contention, boss. Let's be
Okay.
serious. I have to pick her. You,
So I will say Cat Fight of the Year. Okay, so Clem is going with Gia
Queen
Love.
Gia. Yep.
And let's see. Um, I am going with I love love too, but I am going to go with Paris Love. I'm going with Paris
All
because
right.
she
Respect.
had the fight with Vika. She had the
Yep.
fight with Little Rampage.
Little. Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
that's my honorable mention. My honorable mention. If I had a second choice, that would be Lil Rampage because she did fight some people this year.
right. But I'm going with Paris because I think Paris impressed me the most this year as
Mm,
far as where
mm,
she was at the beginning of the year to where she ended the year at. I
agree.
think Paris made the biggest jump, in my
I
personal
agree.
opinion, as far
I
as
agree with you
skills,
there.
tactic, all of that. So for me, because Cat Fighter of the Year was one of those categories I said, do I go somebody who just consistently showed up and worked and then put in all these number of matches, or do I look at the quality of the match, even if they only had like one or whatever? Or
Yep.
I like to look at growth because you know how me, I said from from the first, your biggest jump is from your first to your second. So my thing is, well, who I think made the biggest jump between when we last saw them on the mat to when we've seen them now. Now, if I was going to pick an honorable mention, I would have said Shakira because that
Yeah.
match versus Sunny. I
That was
mean,
a massacre. Funny.
when you to the point where you literally almost retired somebody, you literally
Yep.
retired somebody.
She did retire. There's no literal. It happened.
But for me, I'm just gonna pick Paris. So
We know one thing.
congratulations.
We both picked love. I know that.
We
Either one
picked
I'll
the
be
love.
happy with.
I'm picking
Right? Either
Paris.
one.
He picked you. So that's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Um, trophy will be in the mail. We all have a trophy. Well, we'll come up with something. We'll come up with
We'll come
something.
with something.
We
We'll come up
may
with
have to
something.
send something digitized or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
This may
We
be
have to
why I
something
use
digital.
AI and say AI. I need you to create a trophy.
Artificial
So
intelligence people for
we
AI.
we gonna see. We'll see what they come up with. Yeah. So that's for the first category. We got three categories.
Dude, you
All
should make
right.
four. You should make one more.
Four.
Fan of the year.
Fan of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Fan of
you
the
want
year
to
is
do
people.
it?
Yeah, fan of the year is people that put money into cat fights that make cat fights happen. There's a few people in my list for that one. Not village idiots. I'm talking
Now,
about people who actually
would that be a
moves.
fan or would that be a sponsor? Because see, that's two different things.
Okay. Make them both. I'm talking about sponsors. Sponsor of the
Because
year. I'm sorry.
fan,
Yeah, yeah. Make
cause,
it sponsor of the year. I have a few people. You know who I'm thinking of. I got quite a
okay,
few. Make that
all
at the
right.
end.
So
This category number two.
since we're coming out with it, so next category is ta-ta-da, match of the year.
There's two. There's only two that come to my mind, and we talked about both
Okay,
of them, which is Queen Gia Love versus Valor, and the other one is uh Little Rampage versus Phoenix. Those are the only two that come to my head,
okay, but you got
and
to
I'm
pick one
going
though.
with I'm going with Queen Drea versus Valor. Valor catfights. Valor. The reason? Need we say more? Number one, it was a rematch. Number two, the quality of catfighting. We got a clinic on how to actually do a competitive catfight in that one. I don't care if it was in a gym. I don't care if it's in a boxing arena. It does not matter. We saw quality. We saw a person improve, which was Gia from her last fight against Valor. Valor was actually very good in this fight, but Gia was better than her on that particular day. And to throw in our friend of the show, Reagan, was also the special guest referee. So that makes it even more telling. So I'm going with
And
that
then
one.
Salai was the
And it
camera
was
woman.
live. And it was also a controversial Lady Oyanka. Everybody who knows that, that's another thing. So there's all the elements of that
Yeah,
fight.
Lady O put together a good production. Put together a good
Fantastic
production for that.
production.
Yeah. So
Shout out Lady O. I'm not
uh,
going to hate on
that
you.
that's
Not-
up. That was up there for me. I would say this. That was my fight of the year until about 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks
Ah.
ago. So mine is Payton versus Lynn
Mm.
by Reagan. The Payton versus Lynn fight. It did not get all of the glitz and glamour, or maybe the promotion, as
Yeah.
Valor and Gia was. The thing about Valor and Gia is, as much stuff as Onyanka put into the promotion of the fight, the payoff was just as high, and that's very difficult to do from a producer standpoint. That's very
Mm.
difficult to do because you don't know what's really going to happen. You want a good fight, you want an exciting fight, you want to fight in a perfect world, you would like it to be evenly matched. You want to come down to to the end, see who wants to tough it out. But you've had some fights that end up going as a dud. You end up some fights that just be blowouts.
Yep.
And then you may have that day one of the girls just energy wise she doesn't show up. There's so many things you cannot control
Yep.
about the match and it coming out. So my thing for Onyanka was the fact that I liked the fact that what all the promotion that the fight delivered, which is
It
hard,
did.
which is extremely hard to do. But that's not what this category is. This category is the match itself. I'm going to go with Peyton versus Lynn. And the reason why I would go with Peyton versus Lynn is for what the sponsors that we know of ask for in a match.
Yeah. Yep.
That fight literally delivered all of it, with the intentions of breast attacks, with the intentions on crotch attacks. Um, yeah, it's maybe it's just a mental thing with me. It's like it's one thing to fight, it's another thing to fight dirty. It's another thing when I'm
Mm.
actively going after your crotch, I'm actively going after your breast to
Mm.
inflict pain. Like you
Yep.
have to have a different because you can agree to do something and then going out to doing it is a whole nother thing. It was
True.
for me the most entertaining match I saw this year. It was the most breathtaking match this year. And I think for me, because I had low expectations for it, I just did because looking what each fighter came off, Lynn's performance, her last performance that she had before, and then of course Peyton coming in, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a Dustin. Was not a Dustin at all.
Mm.
Was not a Dustin at all. So I would like for you because I don't think you've seen that fight yet. I'm telling you, you get that fight and you watch it, and then you tell me which one you think is the better. I both of them was good, but I'm going to go with Peyton. To me, I would agree with you until about 2 weeks ago when I watched the Peyton versus Lynn. Reagan had a sale on her page and for I think what was it, Black Friday or whatever,
Yep.
Cyber Monday. Yeah, so when I ended up getting that fight, and it was just like, oh wow, this was really good. So I'm gonna put that up for my match of the year. So next category, producer of the year.
Okay. This one is based off of quality of fighting, a quality of fighting, not just how much you put up. There's quite a few people on this list, and it's not the normal people. One of them, my guy Slap City is. I am going to go and say him. I am going to say him. Slap City is getting producer of the year because he's a new person. He was doing it in the UK, and for people who don't understand, the UK is not an easy place to set up cat fights. They're more reserved than us people in the states. So he put out. I know he has. He said, according to him, he said some things where he's gone through some, things. He'll be back in 2024. So for you Cat Fight fans that like Slap City, he'll be back. That's what he said. His words. But I'll say him. I'm gonna pick him because I like the quality of his fighting. You know, his fights had action all the time. People were doing. People, action. on the mats, off the mats. So I'm saying him.
So you're gonna say Slap City. I would have argued Slap City last year. And to me, it was like Slap City and Rodolfo from Mexican Catfights. To me, they were running
I
neck and
know.
neck. How they just both shot out of the gate, just killing it.
Yeah, true,
That's just me. That's just me. But
true.
um, I know some people, like you said, there wasn't as many fights this year.
You got that
Again,
right.
you got, you have our friend Sweet Fights. He puts up something. People come flocking. Did Tilly?
You got
How
that
many
right.
fights did Tilly put out this year?
I think she only did like one that I know of. I think it's only one.
Which one was that?
Paris Love versus
Oh,
Vika.
that's right.
She
That's
didn't put
right.
out many at all.
Reagan only put out. She put out her versus Lynn. She
Actually, let
put
me take
out
my producer of the year. I'll take it back. I'll give it to Reagan because she put out a couple. I'll
right.
give it to
See,
her.
I knew you were gonna do that. I said you.
I had to think about it.
I knew you were gonna. I'm like you just went off the. I'm like I don't think Slap City put out more than one, maybe two fights.
Yeah,
Um, Reagan put out her versus Lynn. She put out Lynn versus Payton.
Peyton. Yeah,
She put
yeah.
out
Little Rampage versus
Little Rampage
Phoenix.
versus Phoenix, and she put out.
Didn't Patience fight Peyton this year too?
No, that was in December last year.
Okay,
That came out
okay,
before the new year
okay.
because her rematch. Now her rematch with with Peyton, she released it early part of this year, but she had
Uh-huh.
shot it the year before. See,
Okay.
now I knew you were gonna change your answer after I just made the graphic, updated the graphic. God dog it. So hold on, let me read. This is why I let you go first.
You did it on purpose. You want me to
See,
go
no, no,
first?
right. This is why I let because because what the last thing I wanted you to do was then I end up saying something and then you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say something. Now I won't do you like they do at ESPN. Whatever you said in production, that's what it is. You just sit up there trying to change it. You be having them graphics folk mad in the back. But you gonna
That's
go
a good
with
point.
Reagan. With Reagan is good because Reagan put out like she didn't have any duds. All of her cat
No,
fights hit. She didn't have
true.
any. None of them was duds. So, but for me, again, producer of the year, I am going with surprise.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm going because for what I said in the last category for match of the year. You can do all the promotion you want to in the world. That doesn't mean the match is going to live up to the hype.
True.
And promotion, a- as much promotion as Onyanka put in there, the match lived up to the hype. I rather you have one match and that match lived up to the hype for that year versus okay, I lived and put three or four up and they might live up. They might did them and not. Now again, Reagan's all her stuff was strong. She didn't have any duds,
Mm,
which is good. Tilly only did one. That one she did was not a dud. I feel
no.
like she did a second one somewhere. But anyway, but that
If
one
she did a
wasn't a
second one, I
dud.
can't remember.
Sweet fights. I know you have people that got on him about doing the all fights. If the man want to expand this category, then so be it.
Leave him
But
alone. Leave the
even
man
like most
alone.
of the ones, I think just about all the ones he did, we still waiting on the Ziva versus what was Amina, whatever the black
Yeah,
lady's name.
that might not see the light of day, man. I haven't seen anything out of that one. That might not see the light
Listen,
of day at
I
all.
was hoping
Yeah,
that as for a Christmas present, I could have got to enjoy that fight at least by now. But Sweet
me
Fights, he
too.
has his reasons, and
Reasons.
again, I've shot stuff and we've never released it. I probably have more stuff that I shot and never released than stuff that I released
Mm.
because you have all kind of stuff. So anyway, we don't know. We'll see. We're waiting when it comes out. It comes out. But I'm going with Onyaka just because for all the promotion that went into it. Because not only was this a match, and this is why I give her a slight edge over Reagan from the degree of difficulty,
Mm.
is This was a live event. Like people paid to show up
to
to
watch.
watch.
Facts.
It's one thing for me to fight, or not me, but I'm not a participant.
I got you. I got you.
It's
I
one
got you.
thing to have two ladies fight, and they're fighting, and we're on camera and stuff like that. You stuff, and the only people there is just the people that is there that helps with the match, or you know.
Mhm.
But it's a whole nother thing. Is I'm fighting in front of an audience,
Correct.
whether these are fans that know you, whether these are sponsors that know you or not. I think it's
Something.
one thing for because most of us, the sponsors and stuff like that, they get to see the live taping of a match or things of that nature, seeing it, and especially for our friends like Blake and them overseas and
Mhm.
Wolfgang and all them other guys,
Yep.
is one thing for us to watch them, but it's a whole nother thing if we're there physically there watching them and the fighters can see us see them. That's
Yep.
why I said for me, that was a risk that you had to take if you're on Yonka. And I think that
Yep.
risk paid off because if she was to go back, I don't know as far as whatever her setup was with the venue or the people. All I know is this: anybody who came, and then especially they're a fan of catfight and they understand how this works, she can go back to those same people if she have another fight or whatever, boom, 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 or if she wants to do the trilogy fight. All right, let
Mm.
them. They did one. We run it back.
You know what?
I
I would
guarantee you,
actually
them
trust
folks
her.
will
I would
show
actually
up.
trust her to do it.
Huh?
Yep. I would trust Oyanka to do the trilogy fight between those two if they happen. She proven it to me, so I ain't got no problem.
Right. So is and not only could you do it at the same location, or if you want to do it at a bigger location, or maybe more people want to come in. At the end of the day, is one of the ones where it's like of all the fights that I saw, which is one that I would love to see again, and that's where it kind of hits that extra thing because like as much as I love the Lynn Payton fight as his individual fight by itself, is that one where I be as excited to see the rematch as I would with Valengia? No, because with Valengia, they each won one. Now it's like to break the tie. Whereas, if both sides hadn't won one, you see what I'm saying? Because it's kind of hard, and especially, let's be honest, that first Valengia was a classic.
Hundred,
That was the
hundred.
match of the matter of fact. That is probably that first for me personally. That first Valergia match was one of my all-time favorite matches in this genre. It's one of my.
I agree. It's
So
definitely
for
up
the
there for me.
second one,
Still.
where you're adding people to come watch live, and you do all this build up, all this promotion and stuff, because Onyanka promoted that thing literally. It did not
Literally.
go more than 3 days without you seeing something about this fight. He promoted the mess out of it. See, people showed up. People got to see a good match, a competitive match. You know, you had people who, like I said, Reagan as a ref knows what she's doing. Sarai as a camera woman, she know what she's doing. You know,
Yep.
the expenses, whatever she spared no expense. So I was gonna say, I got to tip the cap. I got to tip the cap. It was. That's why I said, from a producer of the year, even if you have to go through all that energy just to do one, so be it. And it was, and it lived up to at the end of the day, it lived up to the hype. Both girls came in, they fought. Thank God, knock on wood, there was like no freak injuries or something. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Anything can happen.
True.
Like I said earlier, anything can happen in a match.
Yep.
And one girl gets sick, dizzy, one girl get knocked out, match
Yep.
over.
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
anything can happen. So it's just, yeah. So that's why I said producer of the year for me is Onyanka, and for you is Reagan. Like I said, no wrong choices. It's just what do we prefer. All right,
Gotcha.
that's enough for category 4. Let's see, category 5. You said you called a fan of the year, but we're gonna call it what it should be, which
Sponsor of
is
the year.
sponsor of the year category. Let's see, number 5.
Is it 5 or 4?
Oh, oh, Because four was producer. One was Catfighter. Oh no, this would be category four. Yes, correction. You're right. Because one was Catfighter of the year, two was match of the year, three was producer of the year. Category four would be
Sponsor of the
sponsor
year.
of the year. All right.
And before I say sponsor of the year, people, here's the thing: sponsor of the year is the person that puts in the money for the fight to help the producers out, not village idiots that don't pay anything. I'm going to clarify that quickly.
And the
So,
ones that
sponsor of
get
the
mad
year,
if you don't put up a video,
yeah, yeah,
video support
yeah.
that.
Yeah, sponsors are the people that understand that these are minor miracles. That these producers have to do a lot of things, and they have to understand that the fighters, most of these fighters, for people need to understand, the established fighters are asking for $2,000. The people who are not even established are asking for $1,000. So if you're a sponsor, you have to take all that into effect. You got to take in the travel to help out, because if you're the producer, like for example, let's say Claus Webb was a producer, people need to understand it takes a lot of things to travel both fighters in. Then you're talking about attire and you're talking about rules and you're talking about this and feeding them and all that stuff.
I'm
So a
trying to
lot of stuff.
eat hotels. It just
Hotels.
it's a bad.
You're talking
It's
about
a lot.
anywhere like $5,000 by the time it's over with.
It's a lot of energy for something at its core that's only gonna last 20-25 minutes.
Correct.
But I mean, if you look at anything big like Super Bowl, Grammys, or whatever, you got like these bowl games, man. You have
Yep.
people that work all year, and that's the only thing they work on.
Correct.
Figuring out, like for example, Rose Bowl parade. No Rose Bowl
Yep.
parade on New Year's Day. But these folks, they got the bowl game, they got the parade, they're dealing with what bands is going to come in, and
Yep.
all the logistics, making sure we have the flowers
Yep.
right
Sponsors,
in
like you said.
January. Right roses
Yep.
in January, not in the
In
season.
January.
It's, you see what I'm saying? I'm just like, so
Yep.
where are you going these at? South America? Because that's the only other place I know that's warming up. No, think about it.
I
What
am.
else is warming up in January to have all these red roses and ready to go? I
Yeah, has to be
want
South
somebody to
America.
talk about that, to do a video on that. Where they getting these roses from? 'Cause these roses, it's short of Florida and maybe like San Diego. So I don't know what's warm
Yeah.
enough in
Yeah.
January to be having a whole bunch of roses. And we ain't talking about no 10,
Yep.
20 roses. You talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of roses. It got to be
It's
red. It
impressive.
ain't just any kind of rose. They all have to be red, or at least most of them are red. I think they're all red. So
They're all
it's
red.
just it's a mess. So anyway, that's neither here nor
So
there.
yeah,
Okay, sponsor of the
my,
year. All right,
my
who's
sponsor of
yours?
the year is a friend of the show. Everybody, well, he's a sponsor on the show for people who don't. Well, you won't see him because he don't come on live, but he's big. He's big time. All the cat fights you've seen these days that are quality cat fights, it's because of him. My guy Mike or Noob Swag. He is sponsor of the year. Well, hands down, sponsor of the year. So I got a second, but I'm just for this category, Mike. No swag. You, my sir, my guy, my good friend, sponsor of the year is you. I'm done.
Who else?
Who else? Who
Who else?
else?
I this is probably one of the categories where I don't even know who's second. Probably because whoever who's second just stays so anonymous, we don't even see them. Not say that they ain't.
Correct.
I mean, this is where you may have to go somewhere international like Wolfgang or somebody. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
somewhere. Or what's the other babe? That do some of Tilly's stuff. Overseas. I think he lives in France.
Yeah. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of
Because
his name,
he
but I
come
know
on
he's.
a couple of the lives and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a short list. It's a short list. This is a short list, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I would go with, and again for sponsor, I'm trying to get someone that, and their sole job is they're just putting up money. They're not producing. They're not
Exactly.
a fighter, taking money from their fights and they put it. No. This is a person where their only contribution to the game is they say, hey, we want to see how much would it take to make this fight happen? Okay, here's a check,
Correct.
or if I come up with half, you come up with the other half. Let's make this happen. You know, that's what,
Correct.
and they're a very important point of it. You have sponsors. Now, some people sponsor the beginning, some people sponsor at the end, some people were sponsored through the say of a custom. See, the
Yep.
thing is, I want to differentiate sponsors from people who order customs, because ordering
Correct.
customs is like okay, like what a lot of times what you'll see a lot of the bigger talent do is they'll say, hey, we're going to be together, like me and such is going to be together for this date. Hey, get your customs in now, and they'll do these last like little bit of maybe 10, 15 minute customs of whatever tickle match, um, pillow
Yeah.
boxing match, whatever you want. But because they
I
want to
got
try
you.
to make the most of the time, people get hog tied, people getting walking around in nylons, whatever it is. But to
Yep.
have a full fledged cat fight, that takes a different type of sponsor. That this is more than just
Correct.
your normal custom. This
Correct.
is just something where the girls is going to have to take time to do extra, and then not only they have to take time to do, they're probably going to have to take time off to do after because it's like usually in most of these shoots, if you're going to do a full fledged cat fight, that's usually the last thing you're going to shoot
Facts.
because you're not going to be in any kind of condition. You're going to be you're going to be tired, you're going to be huffing and puffing, and God forbid if you just got to jump back on the plane and go some, you tired
Bingo.
after that. You tired.
Bingo.
So,
Bingo.
um, I mean, I guess so. The sponsor of the year. So, I would say for five, um, we would do. It's a category, but not really. I would say our top eight for the year. Um, I
Boy,
didn't
this is
want to
gonna be
call
hard.
it as active. Yeah, because see, the top eight, man, we're gonna be struggling to
We
get
are
eight.
struggling
We're gonna be struggling. So, because we haven't done top eight or the grade eight. Okay,
for,
I'll put it
for for a year and a half, and there's a reason why we haven't done it, people. Because
right.
it's hard to find 8 people. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
It's becoming
So
like a participation award after a while. But we
right.
must. Let me see. Let me see
I
what
said
I
we
can
can.
do.
I believe we can get eight. I think we can get eight solid. And I'm not counting honorable mentions. No, either you in or
Oh,
you
you
out.
out? I think the first two are kind of obvious. If we're basing this off of this year,
I want to go starting off of people who fought this year. Reagan fought this year. Yes, she's on the list.
yes,
Vika fought this year. Yes, she's on the list.
this year.
Rampage
Paris
fought
left.
this year
Oh, this
twice.
year,
She's
twice
on the list.
on the list.
Paris fought twice.
She's on the
She's on the
list.
list. Um,
Queen Gia Love fought, so she's on the
Queen
list.
Jill Love, she's on the list. Valor fought, she's on the list. That's six right
List.
there. Lynn fought twice. I'm
So she's
putting
on the
Lynn on the
list.
list. That's seven.
And I'm
We
gonna go
need
ahead
one
and
more.
yeah. Who? Boy,
I'm not
I'm
putting
trying to
Phoenix.
think.
Phoenix
Nope.
to me hasn't earned the stripes yet.
Can't put
Um,
Vika on there. She hasn't really done much
no, I
either.
put
Can't
Vika
put.
on the list.
Oh, you did?
I put Vika on the list.
Okay,
I
that's your
think,
8.
um,
Now we gotta start ranking them.
hmm?
We got 8. We got 8. Now we gotta just figure it out
No,
from
no, no,
there.
no, 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 no. We need one more.
Who's the other one? Oh, you have 7.
We have seven. We need one more.
I
I
was
feel
gonna put
like I'm
Bella Lux
missing.
on there.
No, 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 no.
No.
I feel like we're missing somebody obvious. Um, because the fight did not get released yet.
1 minute.
Oh, duh, Payton. Did we say Payton?
Yep. Oh, you'll have to come out. I was just gonna come in. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Trying to think. Let me make sure that let's rewrite this whole thing out. So we got Payton. Wait a minute, this is not gonna work from a writing standpoint. Let's rewrite this out while we wait for Clem to come back. Let me see. I want to try to pull from one of my old ones and see if I can find. Okay, yeah. And my older ones didn't work. So let's do so Payton, Reagan, Little Rampage, Vika, let's see, Paris, Love, Gia Love, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I think it's ready. Are you ready? Yeah, so I think he may be ready.
We're talking about plans.
Okay, you
Yeah, go
ready?
ahead. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I
you
just
said patient.
I
Yeah,
had
please.
I had taken you off and I had muted you. So that
That's
way.
fine.
So I got Peyton, Reagan, Little Rampage, Paris Love, Gia Love, Valor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who else did I miss? Who else did we say? Oh,
Vika
Vika
and
7.
patience.
I didn't put Patience because Patience fought last year. Patience didn't do a
Okay.
fight this year.
So who did you put in at 8 then?
We might have to put Phoenix.
Oh,
Who else we got left?
yeah,
Ziva's
that's a good
fight
point.
hadn't came out yet.
Yeah, that's true. Still hasn't
Unless
come out.
you know what? We ain't put neither of who all fought. Who all did Rodolfo have fight this year?
No one of note. I'll say that.
Right, because like most of the girls were like new girls or whatever, and one
Yeah,
Santana uh yeah. So
I can't put Santana. That was last year, man.
right,
I don't think
so
she had any fights. I was gonna say Valentina, but she really didn't have any fights of note.
correct.
Yeah,
So
go ahead and
that's
put
what I'm
Phoenix.
saying.
Yeah, go ahead. As much as I hate so that just go ahead and do that. That'll
Yeah,
work.
because I'm trying to think who else is there anybody else we can put. That
No.
tells you how little fights there was out.
This year was I won't say it was
Unless
poor
unless
quality, it's just very
unless
low.
unless we're gonna put some folks from Caddy fights out there. But I
No,
wouldn't put
man.
anybody from Bay fights. Caddy fights,
No,
I wouldn't put none of them girls. They would they,
no.
I definitely ain't putting none of my folks. Um
Caddy fights, man.
you
No,
you know
man.
what? If she had released the actual match, not these little clips, shortstop would have made this list.
Oh, easily, what made this list. But she's
Shortstop,
showing, she's showing too many clips for me,
what? It's
like you
too many
said.
short clips. Shortstop was too many short clips.
I need to see. We need to see videos. We don't need to see clips. We need a full on thing. And
From
I
start
know
to
she's trying
finish,
to tease and all that stuff. I know
which
she's.
is
I know you.
fine. And
No problem.
Ziva's fight, I would put Ziva on this list if her fight would have been released, but her fight hadn't been
We haven't
released
seen
yet.
it yet.
So we can't. But see, that's not Ziva's control though. So that's
No,
what I'm
that's not it.
saying.
Yeah,
So Ziva will have to wait till next year, just like the Mina girl. She have to wait till next year.
next year,
Yeah. Shortstop will have to wait till next year. So there are other
definitely.
people like Davina didn't fight this year. Miss Juliet,
Not
she
at
didn't
all.
fight this year. Um,
Alexa Brooke didn't
women,
fight this year.
duh, duh, eight is a no brainer. Eight should have been Shakira. Just from
Oh
what she
yeah.
did to Sunny alone.
Oh, Shakira. Yeah, her one fight. Okay, let's put her in there. That's
So
fine.
Tilly did two fights, right? She did the Shakira fight, Sunny fight, and she did Vika. Or was
Vika
it
and Paris.
Shakira Sunny fight last year? Was it this year or last year?
This year. I seen it.
Okay.
She said it. I was looking at Shakira
Yeah.
stuff and she was talking about that fight. That was this year. I forgot that. Oh
So
yeah, it
I'm
was
like
this year. It was March. I remember now.
one,
I
two,
remember.
three,
I remember
four,
one time.
5, 6, 7, 8. Now
Eight.
Vika is the only one we could. But the only reason why I'm putting Vika, even though Vika only had one fight this year, the only reason why I'm putting her on Phoenix is not because of skill or effort. I'm only putting her in because Vika actually have done with Sweet Fights. She have done other fights. Phoenix have only
Correct.
done one. That was it. She hadn't done
Yep.
it. She hadn't done another one. So yeah, she hadn't done another one yet. So That's why I'm kind of like, And even with Ziva, I would have been kind of the same thing. Whoever the Ziva Mina winner, this is your first one. It's kind of unless you just, I mean, come out Nas like sexy white from the word go. Her first match, she was ripping ready to go. And so we got 8 right there. Peyton,
Running the list again
Reagan,
one more time.
Peyton, Reagan, Rampage, Paris, Gia, Valor, Vika, Shakira. That's not a bad 8. I told you we can get 8 out of this.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write this down. I'm just writing down from memory. I'm just going off my memory right now. So Peyton, Shakira, uh, Queen Gia Love, yeah, yeah. I
Now,
agree with your list actually.
if you want to go through and rank who's which, um, who do you put as your cat fighter of the year? You had Gia and I had Paris.
Yep. And guess what? Those two are 1 and 2. Speaking of those two, they're 1 and 2 right now.
Um.
I got them both one. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just
Let's put it like this. Vika would be dead last out of this group.
yeah,
She's gonna be
yeah. She
8.
very she lies.
She's
She ate.
8. Shakira fought once, but the one she did was such a stunner. To me, Shakira can't be worse than third. That's just my. I'm just going off from what I see.
Okay,
I'm
let's go.
actually going to put Reagan one. I think Reagan to me. Oh, you know what? I remember I said Lynn. I'm putting Lynn instead of Vika. I'm taking Vika
Yeah,
out.
get me
Vika.
out.
I'm taking
Put
Vika out.
Lane.
Lynn did
Put Lane
too.
in.
Lynn did
Yeah,
too.
put Lane.
Lynn did too. So
Though, truth be told, you know what? Reagan, I have Reagan too. The only person that done better than her is what's her name? Is Queen Gia Love. Lil Rampage makes my list too. I forgot about her. She's on this list. How did
you've
we forget about
already
her?
no. You didn't forget
Oh,
Rampage. Rampage was the third name you said out your mouth.
oh, okay. So
So
I
the
have
issue
you have
is
Reagan
just
one. Okay. So you have Reagan one. Is that what we're going with?
I'm doing Reagan one because the thing is Reagan to me did not lose.
True.
Reagan won both of her fights that she
True.
came out with. Um, and I would say the Reagan Lynn fight was everything I thought it would be. I did not want it to be, and it was that. When you're fighting
Yeah.
someone that that knows you like the back of your hand, are you
Yep.
going to be able to dominate? Like, no, you're just not because she knows literally everything about you. And you
Hmm.
know everything about her, and can you kill her off? And I mean, but for me, Reagan to me is number one because I put Reagan up against almost anybody in this group. Shakira, I just think it just wouldn't work because of the size.
Correct.
Reagan and Gia, I can understand. I can live with co ones because if Reagan and Gia was to fight, I
Ooh. If let's say this, if Jill did what she did against Valor, like she improved, like she did from what
yeah
we saw,
yeah she would
Reagan will have a tougher match, and
she would
she
have a
would
tougher
say
match. And the only reason
way
why
tougher
I
match.
would pause is because I remember how Reagan looked against Laura, but
She looked
Laura was a
Laura
force of
dominant.
nature. Laura was a force of nature that is just
It's not
so.
people, and people need to understand. Reagan was not terrible. Laura was just a fortune of nature. It's just she was just on her game that day. That's just it, right?
So you are we going Reagan one or we going Gia one? I don't, let's start with the back end. I'm going
Let's
to
start with
start
backing.
because sometimes when you start from the back, it makes the front look more
Yeah,
simple because it's like easier to justify people moving up than it is moving back. Um,
yeah.
Vika would have definitely been 8. Now, if I'm
We
feeling
kicking her
rough,
out.
I'm going to put Lynn at 8,
Uh,
and I really don't want to put Lynn at 8.
who you have? Who else do you have in mind? Because I'm with you. I don't want to put Lynn at 8 myself. I think
But
she
I
should
don't know
be at
who else.
least.
Who Lynn fought?
We
Peyton
have
head to
Phoenix in
head.
this list.
You know what? No. Phoenix ain't on the list. We thought
Oh,
Phoenix and
okay.
Vika are off.
Oh, okay.
They don't make the list. They're out.
I got you. I got that.
But then
Who else we
again,
got?
Lynn fought twice. You
Yep.
know what? Phoenix didn't win her fight. Phoenix did not win her fight. Vika did not win her fight.
True.
Lynn actually didn't win. Lynn lost.
Actually, in Lynn's defense,
Lynn
in
has
Lynn's
to be eight.
defense,
Lynn has
yeah,
to be
in
eight.
Lynn's defense, yeah, in Lynn's defense, she did fight Reagan, and once I get this video, she fought Payton. You talk about
Right.
two veteran fighters, two
Lynn
very
has to
skilled
go to
catfighters.
8.
So she's 8.
Lynn has to go to 8.
She's
Then the
8.
question is who's 7?
Ooh.
I'm just gonna have to say it. Balor has to be 7. She did not come
I
ready
agree.
that day.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I believe Balor to me walking the earth is always gonna be a top 5 fight, but this year,
Not this year. No.
I'm like
No.
that one's gonna be tough. Okay, that's 7. Okay, 6,
That's 7.
6.
It gets harder.
Oh, it's gonna get harder.
Interesting.
It ain't getting no easier.
I'm just thinking. I know. I'm just thinking in my head. Payton, Paris. I'm just going through all the names.
Okay, let me ask you this. This is where it would be for me. I don't remember who won the Paris Rampage fight.
It was a draw.
Okay.
Neither of them won. I know. I remember watching it. It was a draw. None of them won.
Okay, so that was a draw.
Now, if you're going off a performance, Paris won. But the name of the game, as we all know, is to get your opponent to submit. So if we're going off a decision, Paris won the fight, but it ended up being a draw. So I won't say neither.
So that was
I'm going to compare 6 actually. I'll put her 6 because I think Lil Rampage had,
So you're saying Rampage performance against Phoenix was better than Paris' performance against Vika?
Yes.
Really? I would beg to differ. We can just respect. The me, it's like, I'll put it this way. Us saying that means that one would have to be 6, the other one would have to be 5.
It's not that much of a difference. It's like small things.
Right. So you saying put Paris at 6?
But like I said, I can some reason for
See, I'm gonna have you get your head chopped off for one. I ain't gonna because you said no.
No. I'm giving my reasons. I'm not just I'm giving you 2 ways I can do it. I'm still picking Paris 6, but I have an argument for both of them. I'm still picking
for you saying Paris 6, and that means Rampage is 5th.
Exactly.
And they fought to a draw. So which means the only thing you got left with, okay. So now that leaves us with 4 left.
This is the harder part. This is the hard part. Really,
I don't think it's hard at all. 4 and 3 is easy for me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just gotta tell me what you're thinking first, because you ain't gonna cheat off my paper.
No, I know Payton is definitely in the top 4. I know she's going to be in there. She's definitely in there. The other one, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who was the other one I'm thinking of? Lord of mercy, how did I forget? So Payton definitely is on my list. I forgot the other one already. The first 2 are obvious.
Did you not write it down?
No, man. I was in the middle of a conversation with something, so of course I didn't write it down.
No.
I'm going by memory.
Payton to me is 4, Shakira is 3.
Are you basing the Shakira thing just because of the beatdown that she gave Sonny?
Retired somebody.
That's a good point.
Payton didn't retire nobody.
That's a good point.
You retire somebody. Retirement should make you a top 3 fighter for the year. Retirement.
That's a good point. That's
what I'm saying. 3 and 4 is not even the issue. Now,
so yeah, I still have 4.
Now it comes down to the last 2, which we started with, and then we left to go down to the bottom of the So it still leaves us with Reagan and Gia. Is which one you think is one, which one you think is two?
Reagan is number one, and it's close. But Reagan's number one, and I got Gia number two. I know I picked Gia to be. I know I picked Gia to be fighter of the year, but based off of what I've seen, I saw the Reagan versus Lynn fight. So I mean Reagan versus Lynn fight, as well as it. I I'm definitely I'm definitely. What you shake your head for?
Because you said earlier, before we went to the back of the list, you had Gia as one and Reagan as two.
It's one A and one B. Ain't no difference to
No, you
me.
got to pick. I would have felt more respect for you if you kept to stay with like, look, as what the kids say now, stand on business.
I am standing on business. If you want me to stand on business for real now, you
then
want me to
Gia
really
should
stand
be
on
one
business
on your
now?
list. I'm just gonna put Reagan. Reagan's gonna be one on my list. Yes, I'm
Okay,
biased. Yes,
in
I'm
that
a
case,
Louisiana say
I got
I'm
Reagan two,
biased.
and I got Queen Gia one. There,
That's fine. Like, I
I'm
have
standing on
Reagan one
business.
and Gia two.
I got
Right.
there,
Because now,
and
even
then
though I made Paris my cat fighter of the year, and the reason, but my reason was because of how much she's grown from the year prior to the year now.
mm,
That's why she's my cat fighter of the year. But my number one is Reagan.
so
Right?
I'm staying with what I said. So
Yeah,
there, I'm saying
stand on
it.
business. The only difference we have out of this we disagree is who's five and who's six. I got Paris at
Yeah,
five and Rampage at six. You got Rampage at five and Paris at six.
yep,
Valor at seven.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Lynn is eight.
Lennox
Shakira's
A,
three. Peyton's four. There.
yep,
So, ladies and
yep.
gentlemen, I will be posting this in the morning, and then we just gonna let. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to see if I can do it as a poll, and I want the fans to vote.
How much of a poll?
Who did?
How much poll options they gonna give you? Because usually when you go to these X and stuff, they only give you like four, so it's kind of hard.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna say this is my list. I'm gonna put in the post. This is my
Okay.
list. This is Clem's list. You vote which list you think is better as far
Mm.
as the eight, because really we
Okay.
swapping around four people. Four to
Yeah.
eight is the four to eight we disagree on where they slotted at.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see. I got to find the X's for everybody so that way it'll show up in the tags. If they all have X's, I'm not sure they all have X's,
That's a good point.
but even I think they mostly all have X's.
I think you're right, brother.
Yeah, I think they are. But I may have to put in parentheses because you may have some people that don't know what their X handle is. You know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You might as well. Yeah. You. Yeah. You. It's better. Yeah. Go ahead and put the X handle on there. There's a lot of people who don't know
Yeah.
what that is. They just go off of the name. They don't know the X handle.
Mm. Right.
Anything
So
else?
I'm.
Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Anything else,
So
man?
I would say if we're gonna do honorable mention, I'll just put Vika and um Phoenix. I may just tag them just
Yeah.
so they feel like they're apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put Vika at nine. Well, see, honorable mention, you don't really rank them, so you just put them down. So it'll be
Yeah.
Vika and Phoenix. Just for
Yeah.
thank you for participating and losing, but you got to beat somebody on the list. But then again, we can say that about Lynn, but it's just
Well, Lynn gets credit because she fought people.
the caliber of
The
competition.
caliber.
She fought top four people. She
Yes.
fought top four people.
And you said it
So
yourself. And people, again, we're about to say, just because, like you said, this list is fluid, people. It's fluid. Like Stephen
it's
A.
fluid.
will say, the list is fluid. It's fluid.
Mm.
Just because we say this don't mean anything.
But I would think for the fans and especially for our international friends going into next season gives folks like say if this is your first time getting into the catfight genre, you don't know anything about catfighters, you don't know anything. This would give you something to look forward to because again, shortstop, we're gonna find out next season, next year. She cannot go through next season doing what she's doing now. If she's doing what she's doing now, I don't think nobody will ever take her seriously. Or
Mm-mm.
if you're just going to be, which you have some people in Pet Life, they just want to fight in private and then just have matches one and that's it, and never become official producer, legit to be.
They
You see
have
what
it.
I'm saying? Either you in or you
Are
out.
you out?
There's no in between. Do you want to be now? You make
Mainstream?
him
No,
fight private matches or whatever, and then, but don't be putting clips out if you're not going to set it. What are we doing? So,
I
um,
agree. I
so
agree with you
people to
there.
watch. Short shot. We'll see what she's going to do. Ziva. We'll see how she comes out. Um, and then whoever else.
Comes
You
out.
never. You never know who we get next year that comes out that we'll be like, oh my God,
Like you said, the key
she's
word is
amazing.
if you're gonna come out, please come out. We don't got time for
But I
this.
mean, no, I'm no, I'm again, I'm not mad the way they're doing it because
I'm not
it's
either.
building the groundswell. Because before you make that commitment, because to be a producer and producing fights is a lot of money, energy, and time. I put out enough samples where people can get a taste and you can get a gauge of how much traffic and support. But what's going to really flip is now when you put it for sale, let's see how many hits you get then.
Mm,
That's where the rubber meets the road.
mm.
You can put out a 30, 45-second clip where people sit there and watch you, whether you dominating the girl or whatever. But when you get ready to put it on a video and you asking someone to now sponsor me and buy the whole fight, we're going to see. We're going to. I mean, they're doing like classic drug trade, which is first time it's free.
Yes,
We give you
people.
all these samples to let you know that okay, and then there's groundswell of support. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I think it's genius. It's brilliant. The way
Mm,
it's probably the best marketing strategy that they've done.
I
The
agree
best
with you,
marketing.
actually.
But eh, I mean, if we were going to do another category, I guess if you want to talk about best marketing strategy or
It'll be
whatever,
done. It'll be done.
then then it would be that. But the case in point, the problem you run into is see whereas going back to what I talked about earlier with Onyaka. Onyaka pushed all this stuff, promote, and then when it came time, the match delivered. Because with shortstop, you keep teasing, and then we get up and we see a full match, and it doesn't deliver like we seen on the teasers. You're gonna have some people like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They just you don't want that. You done
mm,
built up all this goodwill. Yeah.
mm.
So all right, well, I'm pretty much done for the
Is our
for the
special guest coming
sidebar.
in? Is our special guest coming in next year?
I don't know when I put out APB on a whole bunch of folks. We'll see.
Mm. All right. With that
I
being
guess we'll
said,
find out January 9th. That's the next episode.
by the way, he just said it. And this is the end of our end of the year show, if you want to call it like that. Anyways, with that being said, the next show is going to be January 9th, Monday, January 9th, 2024. By that time, people, Happy New Year. The New Year has happened. People are
Hmm.
celebrating New Year's Eve ball, all that jazz. You know, everybody making their New Year's resolutions that they won't follow through on.
You know what? I
So
wonder how many resolutions will be dead by the time we get to the next episode.
half of them. If I had to guess, I'm going to say half of these things. I'm going to say half of them don't make it, and then the other half will die by the time we get to February, beginning of February.
Uh-huh.
So
Then
with that being said, go ahead. So with that being said, the
I
promos are
now
coming up.
let me ask you this: when you
Go
do a
ahead.
New Year's resolution, do you wait till the New Year to do it, or do you do it? You make the resolution before you go in.
I usually do. I usually wait till the first day ends.
Okay. Well, I'm asking because in this case, since this is the last show before we hit New Year's, and then the resolution I'm gonna make is in 2024 I will produce another cat fight. Oh, and I won't even let me. But I will produce a fight. The sale. I will produce a fight. It may not be a full fledged cat fight. It may be a competitive match because again, just dealing with the talent. The talent, yeah, dealing with talent. Just trying to get them to do competitive. They would do competitive. Trying to go all the way do like a Reagan, like basically anything we mentioned on this list. Nah, they ain't trying. They want to keep their clothes on and all that kind of stuff. They ain't trying to do that deep. So that's
Since
why
you
I
since
said,
look, since you say you're going to
hmm?
produce one, I am going to go ahead and say next year I am going to sponsor a cat fight next year.
Okay. I thought you sponsor stuff now, so that's why I'm like, oh, you
No,
talking
no,
about like new swag level sponsor? Okay, okay.
yes, I am
So,
going to
ladies and
do
gentlemen, you have a
yes.
new, cause new swag level sponsor. Woo-hoo.
I know, I know. I got to build myself up to doing that, but next year I'm doing one. Yes,
I'm
I
sure
am
somebody
doing one.
like Dog, or another one of our friends of the show that love to watch it and comment, will probably clip this and remind us next year. Hey, we get to
That's fine.
December. Hey, don't
Good.
yeah,
Remind me.
y'all said.
Good. That's
Yeah.
good. You know
So
what? Good.
I know I
Because
would
if I
do at
don't
least a
do it,
competitive fight. I would like for it to be a cat fight. But like I said, the girl, it's just what the bar is going now. They just
yeah, I hear you.
yeah. That's why
I
I'm
hear you.
saying that's why I love that Balor Gia fight from the first one because it's
Mm,
like they're going in and pulling the stuff and it
yep.
just but the man is able to keep the clothes on. So yeah, so if I can get something even close to that, I'd be pleased as punch. I think I might
Yeah.
could sell that, but trying to make it to where like now for I mean let's call a spade a spade. Let's look at the grade eight. Reagan fought nude, Gia did not, Shakira did not, Payton fought nude, Rampage did not, Paris fought nude, Lynn fought nude, Valor did not. Half the list fought nude, the other half did not. So I have more I have more issues getting the girls. I'm trying to think. Would it be fighting nude or the level I'm at? I think it would actually would be the level, the depth level of what they're looking for. So yeah, I think that's the tougher one. So all right, yeah. So Clem accidentally dropped off. So but I'm sure he'll come back. Clem, you gotta turn your camera back on. I'm gonna give him another shot. But anyway, I want to start with the social medias. Ladies and gentlemen, I can be found Claus Web on X and IG. Oh my God, I still have both. There's gonna come a day. I, there's gonna come a day. I just don't know when that day is, but there will come a day. There's gonna come a day, but I'm still on it for now. Waiting on Clem, give him another second or two to get jump back in. Yeah. Okay.
That
And
was that was weird. I didn't get a chance to even say anything I wanted to say. That was weird.
right, I was saying I was giving. I said my X and IG, and
Okay.
then this
Mine is
guy.
underscore Clem Kufo IG, Clem Kufo on X. And that is pretty much it for the show. We're done, people. We're done. We just
Yep.
want everybody to have a good, happy New Year. Have a blessed, happy New Year. Don't drink too much on New Year's Eve, or try not to drink too much. We all know people want to go crazy. And
Right.
guys, we'll see you guys in the second week of January, January 9th, 2024. For my guy, Claus Webb, for myself, Connor Kufo, we want to thank the people who are watching because you guys have been fantastic the whole year.
Thank
You
you
know,
for yes. Thank you to our fans. Thank you to all our supporters and stuff like that. Thank you for all the texts and DMs and messages and posts and forwards and replies and retweets. Thank you guys because it seemed like each year, because this is what we're into year three of doing this. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
into like year three because we started what was October of 2021.
yeah. COVID times. Yep.
Yeah, COVID times, October 2021 doing this. And it seems like each year we've done it has been picking up more and more and more and more and more streams. So yeah, so
We
until
just want
next
you guys to continue to watch this stuff. Be patient, man. If we have anything of note, you will hear
yeah,
from one of
yeah.
us, either one of us.
I
So
yeah,
be on the lookout for
again,
that.
I know we talked about resolutions and all that. I think next year because I believe in stuff going up in peaks and valleys because the catfight
Hmm.
industry again, I've been a fan of it since '99 and it's always had that. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if next year will be a bounce back year.
I
I'm
agree.
going to say, especially the spring. I wouldn't be surprised if from next spring, like March or so, it start getting on, kicking on, and we just have from March all the way on the last 9, 8, 9 months, we just have
I,
nothing but
I
memorable
agree with you.
matches.
I agree with you. I
Because
think it's gonna keep on too.
I think it's because I think people will be outside. I think we'll have some new talent that will come through.
Yep.
Every year there's at least what 2 to 3 girls that come through we
Hmm.
ain't seen before. They'll come out in the woodwork. Um, it would be nice if somebody from the past could come back, but we'll
That'd
see.
be nice.
Or, but I mean, you can have some people like the Sarah Brooke or whatever who took like essentially a year off, or Laura Cross might
She
come
did.
back.
She
Because to
did.
be honest, I would like to see a rematch between them two.
Same.
And then you see what I'm saying? It don't take long. It don't take long. So,
Hmm.
um, question before I did Sarah and Reagan refight this year? Didn't they do? But they did it for Sarah's production.
I thought so.
I think
Not
so.
fun.
So, which is another reason why I'm keeping in my list. I'm keeping Reagan as one because I'm not having Sarah Brooke can go get anybody she wants. The fact she went and got Reagan to say, "Hey, I want you to come back and fight me." It has to be something about that person that you enjoy, and then or people enjoy seeing you two fight each other so much. They done have 4 or 5 fights now. And I'm talking about competitive fights that people still buy
Something
the
like that.
fights to this day.
Something like
So
that.
yeah, so it is what it is. So all right, all right. Until next time. Bye bye.
Yes, people. By the way, no sidebar because we're going to enjoy our families, people.
Okay. I got a sidebar issue,
Go ahead.
but we gotta wait till the sidebar.
Okay,
So we're gonna come, but it ain't gonna be long because I got one thing and that's it, and then we'll
that's fine. No
wrap it up
problem.
because it's already 1:30 where I'm at in the
Yeah.
morning. All right, we got an hour, almost an hour 15 out of this. Wow.